Let's go exploring with Daniel Cook, right here on the Veritable Quandary.
Here we are! This is Daniel Cook with the Earth Rangers. I'm here with Chris, and today he is going to teach me about Earth Rangers. Hi, Chris.
Hi, Daniel. Nice to meet you.
Nice to meet you too.
This is Daniel Cook on a bike, in a plane, on a farm, playing games with many places and friendly faces. We'll have lots of fun with Daniel Cook.
So Earth Rangers is an organization that tries to get kids just like you involved with environmental issues and trying to think how you can make this world a better place. We get in injured, ill, and orphaned wild animals, and we try to make them better so they can go back into the wild again.
What should you do if you find an injured animal?
Now that is a good question. The most important thing one should do is to call a wildlife center. You may not always know the number, but if you look up in the yellow pages, you should check it out and see where you can find one, because sometimes it can be very tricky to know whether an animal is actually injured or not. So it's best to leave that to an expert to do. And if you can't find someone, at least talk to your parents before touching a wild animal, because they can be dangerous.
Especially a wolf.
Yeah, especially a wolf. But even things like squirrels, raccoons, bunnies, they can all bite you. If they're scared, they might bite you and you might get hurt, so you have to be careful. Hey, guess what? I think they just brought a squirrel in. Why don't we go back, meet Dr. Ackerman, and find out what's happening with that guy?
Okay.
Okay, let's go. Daniel, this is Dr. Ackerman.
This is Daniel Cook assisting the veterinarian.
Nice to meet you. Daniel?
Yeah.
Pleasure.
So we've got a squirrel in here that we'd like you to look at. And he's gotten himself caught in wire somehow, and it's caught around his neck. So I think I can probably handle him if you'd like me to take him out.
So she's just going to catch up the squirrel right now, and he's very scared. He's a wild squirrel. So we have to be very careful because he can bite, he can run.
We're just going to cover his head for a minute to try and keep him calm.
And you see if
But
he
it's not
calms
working.
down.
Let's put the wire on him.
Far.
Yeah.
Yeah. We're just going to see if we can get him to be a little bit calmer so we can work around him.
So just ask that everybody whispers because right now the noise scares him a lot.
Baby, I know you're scared.
Watch out for his ear. Just cutting the wire now.
Just watch your fingers in case he gets
Thank
home.
you. Just going to take the wire off.
He's a good squirrel.
If I twist my skin, see how quickly it bounces back? That means that I drank a lot of water today and I'm feeling normal. If I pinch his skin, he hasn't been able to drink very well, so he's getting dehydrated. Just watch how I pinch that. See how it stays up like that? So he's very dehydrated.
Squirrel gonna be okay.
Well, so far the prognosis, which means if he's going to be okay or not, the prognosis is really good. This adult squirrel looks like it should be fine once we get this wound healed. And then we'll release her probably in about a week or so.
Well, maybe you're going to grow up to be a vet.
Because I do like animals.
Do you? Well, you're in the right place if you like animals.
You know, sometimes I feel sorry for bees, even though I'm the one that gets stung. This is Daniel Cook looking at ducks. Quack, quack.
Okay, so we've seen the hospital. Now we're in the rehab wing of the Earth Rangers Center, and this is where the animals that have been treated get moved to next. So in this room,
Ducky.
these guys are ducks, as you can see, who are being treated in a special pond area in the Earth Ranger Center, so we can make sure that they've got special waterproofing on their feathers before they can go back into the wild again. All right, Daniel, the last room we're going to have a look at is our education section of Earth Rangers. So know how we're talking about some of the animals that come into a wildlife center can never be released? Well, some of those animals we consider for our education programs. Now, keep in mind, these are not pets, these are still wild animals, but they're used to being around people, so that's why we can bring them into schools now and teach them about what they can do to help wildlife. And of course, the reason we tell these stories is to make clear to people just like you what the story actually that happens to these animals, not so we can train them for fun, but also because it makes their lives more interesting.
How do you stop skunks from getting into garbage?
You only put your garbage out the morning of pickup. So a lot of people put their garbage out the night before, and that's when foraging animals like skunks and raccoons get into your garbage and rip them open. So when I'm whistling, this is called a bridge. And what that
I
is...
thought that was him squeaking.
No, it's a whistle, and this is a trainer's whistle. And what this does is it tells the animal that you've done the behavior that we want you to do, and now the treat or the reward is coming.
Thank you, Chris, for teaching me about Earth Rangers. It was fun.
That was my pleasure, Daniel.
This episode is over, but the very best of my collection is banned on YouTube. To see what you have been missing, go to archive.org and search for Gyro Screwloose, and I'll see you there.